Welcome to this week's episode of the Sports Curious podcast. I'm your host, Amy Butchon-Siegfried, and I am delighted to be joined by my equally fashionable co-host and brother, Scott. Scott, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here on the podcast talking about one of my most passionate subjects, fashion.
Fashion. The best part is if you're watching this on YouTube, you see that clearly neither of us have dressed up for this recording. We are both in black sweatshirts, hats. I have on no makeup. This is just, I mean, you are wearing your last night's game do up a shit shirt, so there's that. But overall, in the fashion statement, this was not our best showing on fashion.
Well, this is my definition of fashion, so I'm good.
This is our Monday night fashion. All right.
Yeah.
Monday night on a holiday with no school for kids, and we're here. Your nephew is a handful, hence this look.
Day off of school, what do you expect?
Exactly. All hell breaks loose. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the most fashionable athletes, but also athletes who are just simply tied into the world of fashion. There's so much correlation between the two. It truly has merged into being its own little niche in the industry, really, when it comes down to it. We have athletes walking in fashion weeks. We have, Lewis Hamilton has been in Dior ads. Like we really do have this crossover. So I guess I really want to, we're kind of in the midst of fashion weeks here between New York Fashion Week, which just passed. We're what day is it? We're heading into Milan Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week. So we're in it to win it this month. And I guess we really want to start off with, I am so impressed, and I think the ladies of the WNBA have encouraged all other athletes to show up in style. The arrivals tunnel, if you will, for a WNBA game is a straight up fashion show.
Yeah, they've completely embraced the show up. What did you call it? The tunnel?
I call it the arrival tunnel, but I mean,
The
I
arrival
guess it depends
tunnel
on yeah.
with various fashion choices and making sure that they're dressed up, something fun, creative on their way to their games. And it hasn't affected any of their play. So it seems like they've set the standard high for other women to be able to show up and worry about their fashion before the game and then still go on the court and produce after
Well,
the fashion.
it's really interesting because I noticed a while back the WNBA would post photos of
Mhm.
the athletes arriving right before games. And all of a sudden, then the NFL started doing it, and the NBA started doing it. Like, you might get one every once in a while, or someone wore sort of an outrageous pre or post game outfit
Mhm.
in men's sports. But really, after the WNBA caught such traction with this, and I think it gives these athletes a different dimension, right? They're not just athletes on the court; they are women who want to dress up and look great and express themselves. And so I think that's really kind of cool.
And it sends a message to maybe a younger basketball player who might be 6'5", growing up, that she can put on a dress or something fashionable and it's okay.
Absolutely. And those of us who are 5'5" on a good day are really excited to see these tall, beautiful women in these amazing outfits that I could never pull off because I'm not tall enough to do so.
Me neither. So let them embrace it.
It was really cool. Last year, WNBA partnered with Google Lens. And so if you liked the outfit that you saw a WNBA player wearing, you could use your Google Lens to find that item.
Yeah, and they came out with that amazing commercial with a few of the WNBA players, like our Las Vegas Aces Kelsey Plum, in like this long sleeve jacket. I don't know how to describe it, but you would be able to take a picture, point to that picture on the phone, and then it would take you straight to that jacket. So they've, partnering with Google Pixel's a huge deal as well, and gets a lot of their players' names out there.
Absolutely. Well, and it's cool because as someone who's there's our websites dedicated to what people wear on TV. So I actually bought a dress off the It was the Bachelorette. No, the Bachelor. I the, there's dedicated sites that will say, okay, so and so wore this dress. Here's where it is. Here's where you can buy it, and it was awesome. I mean, I literally bought it while watching the show. And so it's neat to be able to see them, like you said, turn that into sponsorship deals.
And who has the time to Google outfits anymore or
Not
research?
no. Who has time to
Just push,
research that?
just
No,
push the button.
please make it. It was funny. I had a friend who emailed about vacation, and immediately the next email in my inbox was one from a vendor that said something about like packing light or going on vacation. And I was like, "Are you stalking me?" Probably so.
Your phone's for sure stalking you.
1000%. If you don't think it is, talk about something weird, then all of a sudden it shows up in your Instagram ads.
Yep.
Hmm. So let's move on to the men. Now, we already kind of talked about Lewis Hamilton, F1 driver, who started in Dior ads in this phenomenal hot pink Dior ad. He was at their January show. He's just made a big switch for it in F1. For those of you who are maybe not F1 fans, but love to learn about it.
Yeah, Lewis is always off the track. He's been kind of different than every other driver. He's had, different interests like fashion and really stepped outside of the box many years ago before anyone was really
Hmm.
thinking about doing that as a driver. So he's been in tons of ads. He's always at fashion weeks. And it does kind of work out that the fashion weeks are right before the season starts. So he can, go and attend before he has to put his focus on racing, which he's very good at doing.
Yeah, I remember like when we started watching F1, 2014-ish, 2013 probably. He was the only guy who had, I'm gonna call it a 4 to 5 carat diamond stud
Mhm.
earrings in under his helmet. And I feel like he lost one of those at some point when he took his helmet off, but it's like he was the only one doing things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the rule still stands, but they tried to ban him from wearing his earrings underneath his helmet. I don't know
It
if
would
you remember
hurt.
that. And then
No,
they
but
said it was they said it was a safety issue, which I could understand, but I think he might have won that battle.
yeah, I mean, for those who wear like posted earrings, that hurts. If you wear headphones or, like a big Beats pair, that hurts after a while. So I can't imagine having my head rattle around in a helmet with this earring poked into my neck, but maybe it's like acupuncture.
Maybe, and then this season you'll have to tune in to see his last season with Mercedes to see if he's wearing these earrings before he
And he
switches over
switched.
to Ferrari.
Okay, so he's switching to Ferrari next season, not this season.
Yes, so it makes things, I guess, awkward would be the best way to put it because he's
Surely.
replacing the driver on the Ferrari side, so he's got to go somewhere else. So
Well, and they're
it's
surely going to be like, okay, let's not tell Lewis this strategy in secret because he's going to our competitor who's got a much better car at this point. So
yeah, I don't know if it would matter honestly,
true.
but he will be
What
bringing fashion to the Ferrari team, which I'm sure that they'll
they'll
certainly
appreciate
embrace.
that. The
Yes,
Italians will appreciate that.
much more, absolutely.
We talked a little bit about how the WNBA has driven the guys to step up their game. I was laughing looking at the Super Bowl arrivals. You had Travis Kelsey in some black shiny outfit, and you had all these players, but the guys who showed up in suits. Now, Christian McCaffrey showed up in, I believe it was a double-breasted, like dark colored suit with a Birkin bag. And that Birkin bag, I think, got more media attention than so many other things. Maybe not as much as Taylor Swift, but
Hmm.
Christian McCaffrey's Birkin bag, which do you know what a Birkin bag is?
If you're gonna put me on the spot, and I do not, so
I'm
this would
not
be a
judging.
wonderful opportunity to learn during the fashion podcast.
It is a beautiful leather bag. It's about $10,000. It's kind of a cult, baseline. It's kind of a cult purse that has really escalated over the past couple of years. And so Christian McCaffrey had all his belongings heading into the locker room for the Super Bowl. Obviously, he didn't have a win stuffed in there,
He
but
did not.
in his Birkin
No.
bag would he sure tried hard enough. He earned his Birkin bag.
Well, glad to know that Birkenbag got the publicity they're looking for.
There you go.
And I
And then you're
remember the
talking
Birkenbag.
about
And
now
I
you
don't know if
know. See,
I don't know if you ever seen his. I think it was a GQ photo
mm-hmm.
shoot. That was certainly fashionable.
It was he wearing clothes?
Some clothes, mostly not. Mostly
Okay,
shirt.
I was gonna say if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, it was more not than yes, but his
Mhm.
fiance Olivia Culpo is also a model, so I'm sure they're used to it in their household.
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, Google it. Probably not on your work computer.
No, and they had like a segment before the Super Bowl, like, is Christian, could he be a model if he wasn't playing football? And all his teammates said yes.
Of course. Totally agree.
So,
Well, it's in his household
yes, it
now.
is.
It's by immersion. But then we're talking about, when name, image, likeness has completely changed college sports in general. And we had Shilo and Shedeur Sanders, who are sons of Deion Sanders.
Mhm.
They modeled in the Louis Vuitton men's fashion show in Paris, or they walked in it. And so that's pretty cool to see that because of name, image, likeness, they're able to take their brand global.
And that was a full circle moment. I don't when you recall when Dion took over Colorado, he said he was bringing his own Louis luggage
Hmm.
in that viral clip to the Colorado team, and everyone freaked out. And then a year later, they're walking in the Louis Vuitton fashion show.
Well, he
So
did bring a Louis, and here you are. I love
yes,
that.
so he
Speak
kind of
it.
spoke it into existence.
Speak it to the universe, right?
Yes, and that's what Dion's best at. Coach Prime.
Yes. Yeah, this is a true statement. Um, so we covered some of those, but we have all these athletes now. As we kind of talked about, sports and fashion have completely intertwined, and we have athletes with their own clothing lines. And the obvious choice to this is Michael Jordan and Jordan Brand. Obviously, he's built this phenomenal empire based off the Nike shoe, but then he has since developed his own Jordan brand that
Mhm.
sponsors Michigan. And I mean, we may not call it fashionable, but it's athletic wear. And so he may be the king of this category of athletes with their own clothing line.
And I think his shoes are, in their own category of fashion because they've set the bar so high with
Absolutely.
multiple generations of athletes and actors and models and
Mhm.
everything.
Mhm. I actually just saw a really cool pair on Instagram that were Ken Griffey Jr. shoes, and you know where the Nike check is? They were
Hmm.
baseball stitch. They were very cool.
And these are new as far
I
as you
just saw them. I mean, somehow I'm getting all this sneaker feed now, but probably after I tried to find our shoes for the Fountain opening, and so
now
I've
you're
now
just.
been getting all the sneaker ads. Yep.
I'm sure you'll get more ads after listening to this podcast on your
It's
phone.
probably true. Louis Vuitton, Birkin,
Mhm.
and shoe ads. So, Serena Williams and Venus Williams both have their own clothing lines, and Serena's big push on her line was she really wanted to make a product that was available and open to women of all shapes and sizes. I believe they go from extra small to 3X. And then her brand is called Serena. And then Venus Williams has a brand called 11. And is that tied to a certain number of wins? I forgot to look. Grand Slam
I
wins
don't
maybe or
know.
something? I don't
I don't
either.
know the. It sounds right.
Let's go with it.
If it isn't Venus, here's your free pitch.
Yep, exactly. I'm like, well, I will Google it while we sit here.
I mean, yeah, and Venus is still playing, so she could be striving for 11 major wins. I'm
Mm.
not sure the number, but she's still playing in her mid 40s and basically has no plans to retire it anytime soon.
It doesn't say. It just says that she created 11 to give women quality activewear that allowed them feel great and
Mhm.
perform better. But she is a former world number one and seven-time Grand Slam singles champion.
Yes,
So,
and could have more on the horizon at some point. Who knows?
I mean, it's pretty cool. She was the oldest player to play in Wimbledon last year. Was that correct?
Yes, yes. I know she withdrew from the Australian Open right before this year, so hopefully she's able to come back and get healthy.
That would be awesome. Yeah, if you're into tennis attire, little athleisure, maybe some SPF 11 is for you.
There
Now
we
we
go.
know.
Yeah, no.
Now we know. So Tiger Woods has a new line he's starting. Now he left Nike, which they had the long partnership, I mean, basically almost his entire career. And he's rolling out Sunday red, not Sunday, the day of the week, sun like the universe or the solar system, day red. And that's a partnership with TaylorMade.
And I think this may be the most iconic red shirt of all time. Everyone knows exactly what it means when they see it.
Mhm.
That's his Sunday red that he would always wear when he was winning these majors and basically just dominating everyone in this red. And oh, sorry about that.
You got
Yeah,
excited, hit your microphone.
he retired the TW logo that he had with Nike, and now the Sunday red has a tiger with 15 stripes
Mm.
representing the 15 majors he's won.
Well, that's cool.
And there's room to add more should he stay healthy enough to win one more.
I
So
know
this
that was a bummer.
the iconic red shirt is fully his now, no longer his former partners.
But I heard that somebody owns the trademark of Sunday Red, and that's why he had to go Sunday Red, which if I'm not a trademark attorney, pretty much sounds the same. Granted, Tiger can probably afford to fight whoever has Sunday Red, but obviously not enough to buy it.
No, I mean it's totally different. There's a space in between sun and day. Pretty
I mean
self-explanatory.
I mean, of course, right? I mean, why
Mhm.
wouldn't it be? So that'll be interesting to watch the development of that one and what he adds into that, and if he can win another major. But I mean, it was sad to see him roll out of the Genesis Open with flu-like symptoms and all those things, and maybe
I think
just
coming out May 1st, if I'm not mistaken, so it won't be out for the Masters, but the three other majors it should be. So we'll
I
see.
feel like that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it should have been on April 1st to get ready for the
Obvi
Masters.
That's my thought, but what do I know? So
I'm not. Yeah.
we've covered some athletes. There's obviously more athletes. Russell
Mhm.
Westbrook, Cristiano Ronaldo. They all have their own brands. As no surprise, Cristiano Ronaldo's brand started as an underwear collection,
Mhm.
similar to if you were Christian McCaffrey rolling out your own selection there. Let's wrap with I would love you to give me who you think maybe it's not the most fashionable athlete, but someone notable that if you're listening to this podcast and you're not super into sports, you might have fun following them on Instagram or keeping an eye out for them during the season.
I'm gonna go under the radar probably for most people because of the small city he plays in, but he's in the MVP conversation in the NBA, and 2023 was named the NBA's most stylish player, and it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or SGA for short, if you don't want to pronounce the name. But yeah, he was the most stylish player in 2023 in the NBA, which says a lot, going against guys like Kyle Kuzma, and there's so many guys that are just showing up in wild fashion. And he also got a deal with Skims with Kim Kardashian, so he's the
Oh,
face of
awesome.
Skims for the NBA.
He
And
and
he's a
Usher.
at this point, yeah, top 3 to 5 MVP candidate as well
Oh, that's good to know.
for the Oklahoma
And you
City Thunder. I don't know if I said that.
awesome. I'm here for this. I would
Yeah.
say for mine, it's a toss up, right? I always want to recognize a female athlete, and I'm going to go with Satu Sabali, who was voted by fans as the WNBA's most stylish player, which that in all fairness is a hugely prestigious award because those women show up. And she
Hmm.
plays for the Dallas Wings. And so shout out to her. But I'm going to throw one out there that I know the ladies will love, Joe Burrow. Right? Joe Burrow is the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, and his fashion flair, I mean, he's known for kind of his signature sunglasses look, but he's worn SpongeBob to oversized diamond pendants. He has been given the nickname Joey Flowers for his floral print suit. I mean, he said like he doesn't try hard. He just throws on whatever he thinks looks good.
Hmm.
His nickname is also Joe Cool, so he's been known to wear Snoopy t-shirts.
Can't argue with that at all. Unfortunately,
I
this
mean,
season he was hurt so much we didn't get to see what he had in the closet. So that means 2024 season he's got to have a bunch of stuff saved up.
I mean, the world is yours. The arrivals, the tunnel at the football stadium is yours to capture. Is there anyone you want or any notes that maybe we talked about? I always give you a chance to leave us with something because half the time I forget something you and I have talked about in our pre-meetings. And so this is where you catch me and you give us something else that I may have missed.
Let's see. I think we spoke about so many different people that are out there showing off. Um, I'll just mention Asia Wilson, which she was the defending most stylish player of the year before Satu beat her out. But she's been carrying the crown for quite a while with her
Mhm.
fashion and winning MVPs and winning championships. And unfortunately, she lost the stylish player of the year award, but won the championship. So we'll just tell her to keep doing her thing.
May she bring it this season so we can all uh,
Yes.
continue to recognize her legendary status.
And she was at the NBA All Star game wearing the Indiana Pacers jersey. So she's always bringing her fashion forward sense.
I love it. Well, thank you for joining me today. Thanks for sharing your very vast knowledge of fashion. Hopefully, you have learned something too. And those of you listening, learn something if you love the world of fashion, how you can kind of keep in touch with that and tie it into conversations in the world of sports. It's a great delineation, right? You start a conversation about sports and you easily change that into something you might know more about, like fashion. So, this is a great way to tie all of those pieces together. Thanks for joining me, Scott. I appreciate you.
Thank you.